Welcome to What If Wednesday. This video's what if is, what if ritual monsters could be summoned directly from the deck? Ritual monsters are in a weird place when you really think about it. I mean, when you compare them to the other summoning methods like fusions, synchros, Xyzs, and links. Pendulums are also in a weird place, but for reasons which are not going to be explored in this video. I would say that the idea of the fusion deck is nothing short of revolutionary. Getting to put certain cards into a pool where they cannot be drawn really helps with consistency and opens up quite a bit of design space as a result. For example, Gate Guardian as a fusion monster makes way more sense. Oh, wait. Back to ritual monsters, I think the issue is one which springs from the environment the game was created from, and Takahashi being not primarily a game designer. This scene in the manga of Blackluster Soldier being summoned is pretty cool, but is not exactly the foundation for a whole summoning mechanic. Oh, wait. There is a lot of ambiguity in material, and I much prefer the method the main game employs with dedicated ritual spell cards. The big problem though is massive card disadvantage. Tributing a minimum of one monster and expending the ritual spell makes the mechanic a -2 as a baseline. This is on par with the fusion mechanic, but at least fusion monsters are not bricks. On top of this, lining up the spell with the appropriate monster is pretty clunky, and causes a lot of consistency issues. Now, there has been a lot of ritual support over the years, addressing some of the weak points in the mechanic, and I think a few of them are worth mentioning. Tutors like Manju, Senju, and Sonic Bird help with consistency and card advantage. The same goes for preparation and pre-preparation of rites. Earth Chant and Contract with the Abyss are generic rituals, for earth and dark attributes respectively. But by using these cards, you need to match the star level exactly. Ritual Raven theoretically helps by being material for any dark ritual monster, regardless of level. The gens are sort of in the same boat, reducing the material cost of ritual monsters and leaving behind a little benefit for the monster, except for the poorly designed one. Samsara does nothing? Okay, theoretically Samsara is good for recycling material, but does not offer actual card advantage, so is not particularly good as a result. There is a retrain called Ascending Soul, which gives you an instant rebate, making the card significantly better. These cards help to deal with the issues of consistency and/or card disadvantage, but they arguably do not solve the issue of ritual monsters being bricks in hand. You can argue that ritual monsters can be used as materials for ones of the same level, or even a duplicate in hand, but the brick problem still remains. I would say that the issue was only really addressed with Ritual Foregone, allowing the summoning of brick monsters from hand without materials. Ritual Foregone is nice, but there still isn't a way to special summon them directly out from the deck. Oh, wait. The reason I bring up high ritual art is because it sorta answers the question I'm asking, but not in a way that satisfies me. Summoning ritual monsters from the deck, or rather from hand or deck, is an interesting middle ground between the mechanics seen in the main game and moving the ritual monsters into the extra deck, as some people have recommended. Putting them in the extra deck removes the brick problem completely, but does come at the cost of extra deck space, a very expensive opportunity cost, and as a result, maybe a bad trade-off. Allowing summoning from the deck does not remove the brick rituals from the hand problem, but rather recontextualizes the problem to being akin to drawing a garnet. This does bring up a question of checking power by means of probability. On average, this decreases the power level of a card or strategy, but the other half of that is sometimes Lady Luck smiles, and that perceived check on power is just gone. There is a philosophical question about randomization affecting game balance, but that is for a different video. Smooth transition. The reason I had this what if question is because this is how I used to play the game. Well, when I was 9 or 10 at least. I distinctly remember our decks looking something like this, with Relinquished specifically. Where is the Relinquished, you might ask? The reason for this was that Relinquished was a shiny card, so it had a case, but no one had a full set of cases, so the rest of the deck was naked. One of the benefits of this was that you could easily find Relinquished when you special summon it directly from the deck. Don't worry about marked cards. We didn't. I do want to point out that it wasn't just me that had this misconception. as at least a couple of people I knew intuited the same mechanics. While I have the green screen out, I might as well show you an application for this what if. Unlike rewriting the anime, this one you can experience on your own. I have a kitchen table deck that I was playing, which uses this change as a house rule. I was using Zera the Mant and Hungry Burger, 2 dark attribute ritual monsters to be used with Contract with the Abyss. I was also running advanced ritual art, using Shine Balls as targets. I think I might have had Shining Abyss or maybe Opticlops at some point too. I don't really remember. I know I was running Chaos Monsters and Dark Necrofear, but that's aside from the point. From testing, Advanced Ritual Art was a little too strong a tempo play, being able to pull a big monster out of deck, which might seem pretty arbitrary. Smooth transition back. It is 100% arbitrary, actually. But the objective was mostly to see if this small change to consistency and card disadvantage would be enough to make rituals relevant. At least within this niche playgroup I was in. It would be pretty cool to see Crab Turtle be playable in much older formats, but I do not think that the change would be good for monsters like Herald of Perfection. That card is really balanced by the inherent card disadvantage. Going back to the brick problem, I think Necroz cut the Gordian knot and gave ritual monsters effects which can activate in hand, more or less solving the brick problem. This was more of a popcorn hypothetical, so I'm not sure if it will get a dedicated follow-up video. So I'm just going to go ahead and announce that the next What If Wednesday has been fast-tracked, because I am just so excited about the content. So hopefully it will be out soon.